An Ohio judge now ordering a Chinese cartel to pay $18 million to a family that lost their son to fentanyl. Tommy Rao became addicted to prescription opioids after a rollerblading incident. He died in 2015 after taking an injection that was laced. Tommy's father founded Families Against Fentanyl. James Rao joins me now. James, thanks for being here. We're very sorry for your loss, and we know it doesn't get easier by the day.
Thanks for having me on. This is such an important subject to me and the country.
Are you frustrated about what's happening? If you look at these stats about the fentanyl seized at the southern border, you've got in FY23 19,663 pounds compared to 7,300 pounds roughly the previous year. I mean, it's exponential what's happening and coming across.
That's what's being seized. They estimate that they're only seizing 10% of what's coming in. That's more than the population of the United States could possibly consume. That's indicative of stockpiling. This material is being brought into the United States in large quantities and being saved and stored in specific areas. This is a national security threat of epic proportions.
Tell me about Tommy. We're looking at pictures now.
Tommy was a wonderful man. He had great athletic abilities, wonderful work ethic, loved his family, loved his friends, and was just a wonderful guy. He became addicted to painkillers after various dental work and a rollerblading accident, and we have a family hereditary problem of substance use disorder. Alcoholism runs in the family in some respects. And Tom hit the perfect material and struggled with it for some time. He was given a lethal dose of acetylfentanyl in 2015 when nobody knew what this material was, and it killed him instantly. My wife found him. She had the courage to call the police and not go in and just fool with the crime scene. They did the great work and traced this all the way back to the Zhang drug trafficking organization in China and indicted them in 2018. That's when I became aware of what was going on, because in the indictment it said that they were producing 16 metric tons a month at that time in China. So we sent a contingent over to China, prosecuted the Zhangs for his murder, and after 3 days of prosecution, they deliberated for 15 minutes and set the Zhangs free. The Zhangs are now purportedly in Mexico mass producing fentanyl along with the cartels. Bob Anderson from 60 Minutes confronted the Zhangs in the marketplace in China, and he was expelled for China and his visa revoked. Since that time, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Americans have been killed by this horrible scourge that's been launched against the United States, and this well-known mechanism of compulsion, disease, and death. This is a well-planned attack that's been going on for some time while we've turned a blind eye to what we consider the blight of the junkies. This is totally misrepresentative as to what's going on. So we sued the Zhang drug trafficking organization with the help of Spangenberg, which is an international law firm and a local firm, and they did this on contingency on the hopes that maybe something would come of it. And we're using this as a model. We hope that to, first of all, shine a light on the problem, and secondly, we'd like to get a hold of that money and use that against these cartels and this blight that's attacking the United States at this time, and shut off the supply of this material. That's why we're pushing for fentanyl to be named a weapon of mass destruction by the United States government. And we have the backing of Congressman Wenstrup, who's introduced a bill in the Congress right now asking for it to be a weapon of mass destruction. And this would give us the tools to shut off the supply of this material before it gets here.
Yeah, and I've talked to a number of lawmakers, bipartisan, both sides of the aisle, really, really concerned about this. Thank you for turning your grief into action, and thanks for being with us today.